8:30 in the morning on Friday, August 8th. We've got some pretty refraction of sunlight through this glass and this very pretty door here on this very pretty morning in South Dennis, Massachusetts. Crows were just stirring. What a gorgeous morning. Is this the best morning of 2025? Well, I guess beauty is in the eye of the beholder. Let's look and zoom over here to what we call the mouth of the river here on Fallon's Pond. It goes out to Nantucket Sound, but we have birds and glassy water. I'm not wearing my noise canceling mic, so I have to speak up, but we can hear the birds. What a gorgeous day. But before we get to the weather, let's do some sports. Yes, let's crow about it. Congratulations, Little League team from Braintree, Massachusetts. Going to the Little League World Series. When you're on ESPN and you're only about 12 years old, how exciting is that? Congratulations, going to Williamsport. And also, the New England Patriots are hosting the Washington Commodores at Gillette Stadium this evening. It's going to be a gorgeous night for football, and there's this massive statue of Tom Brady that's going to be unveiled. Okay, that's it for sports. Now let's do the weather. It doesn't get any better than this. In fact, this morning it was so comfortable, it was record comfortable. The regional roundup I got at 7:30, I think. The warm spot, of course, Highgate, Vermont. This signal of warm air advection when Lake Champlain is the warmest at 68 degrees. And some of the coolest air in all of New England, at least this side of Maine, was right here on Cape Cod. The temperature in Falmouth on the way up through the 50s after a low temperature of 48 degrees in Falmouth on Cape Cod at Otis Air Force Base this morning. And guess what? The old record for August 8th was 56 degrees in 1955. So record cold air this morning. And thanks to a high-pressure system, it's the second record cold high-pressure system we've had in 10 days. And you know what comes after record cold? Record hot. In about 5 or 6 days is going to come our way. It's called high-amplitude flow. And the weather map this morning shows the 1027 high-pressure system moving east. When these highs go east from New England, often southeastern Massachusetts has the coldest weather in the morning, and that's what's happened this morning. And on the backside of these highs, you get stuff happening. Like, are we going to get another tropical storm like Dexter? Well, the odds have come up just a little bit. Yesterday, the National Hurricane Center said there was a 0% probability of a tropical cyclone forming off eastern United States in the next 48 hours. Now it's up to 10%. So there's a chance that there's going to be the E or the F storm off of the East Coast, but it's more likely that there's going to be one out in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean, which we're going to have to watch for days and days and days. In a few days, we'll start talking more about that. It's still anything that forms a way out there would be unlikely strike to the United States, but not impossible. And I know it does show up in some of the guidance late in the period, but we're only doing a 10-day forecast right here. And our satellite image this morning, wow, look at Dexter. It's a monstrous looking storm now. It's post-tropical, but it has central winds sustained at 70 miles per hour. Hurricane force. I was going to say central pressure, but the central pressure is not that impressive. It's 998 millibars. There's an even stronger low to its north there going into England and Ireland. And then the smoke plume on the backside of these two systems, just gross, over the North Atlantic. These transatlantic voyages must be looking out and going, what is this? Is the ocean on fire? Incredible smoke from Newfoundland to the north central Atlantic. This could be unprecedented smoke out there being drawn off the Canada fires. But we obviously have very clean sky in New England. Well, satellite image showed it, and so does this empirical evidence. That would be a look at the sky right here. Very beautiful day. Very beautiful. So let's go to, we shifted gears a couple days ago, and we said, well, they're not going to show the Boston 14-day. We're going to show the Manchester, New Hampshire 14-day, and we're not going to show the complicated meteogram. We're going to just show a simpler graphic that shows the temperature, high and low temperature, and when it might rain. It might rain about next Wednesday or Thursday. Well, there'll be scattered showers and thunderstorms today. Oh, I forgot to show what happened yesterday. And then the temperature goes up into the 90s starting on Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and it's a 5-day heat wave next week. Hey, Dave. Thanks for driving this way. I appreciate that noise. There's not a horse in that horse wagon. There's tools. Good job, Dave. Thanks. And was I still on the Manchester graphic? No, let's go back to that Manchester graphic. And so not only do we make the forecast here, we make the forecast on how the forecast is going to change. We've been talking about the temperature next week. It looked way too low based on our observations of the 576 thickness coming in. So now this does make sense, even though the operational numbers are at the top end of the ensemble spread. The shaded red area are the range for high temperatures in the upper 80s to the upper 90s, and you can see the operational numbers are at the upper level, and I kind of agree with these operational numbers. So we're going to have the hottest 5-day period of the year next week, and we're not going to match the 102 that we hit on June 24th, but it's going to last longer. And now the Euro is back to saying it may end with flooding, as many of our heat waves have done. And while I'm on the subject of rainfall, who won the rainfall lottery yesterday in New England? I didn't even know we had a Woodbury in Vermont. But 1.5 inches of rain in Woodbury, Vermont yesterday wins the rainfall lottery. And there could be a scattered shower or thunderstorm again today on the backside of this nice high pressure system. Also, we had a bit of rain in the Berkshires, but I don't think we saw more than 1/2 inch. There's the Cocoa Raws numbers. Excuse me. Pardon me. I don't know what I'm sneezing at. The air seems very clean this morning. All right, so can we go to the Euro now? So we talked about this. Oh no, you know what else I want to talk about? Was the wind on Mount Washington, or the lack thereof. The maximum wind gust on Mount Washington in the last 24 hours was 20 miles per hour. And the sustained wind this morning, 2.7 miles an hour. Thank you very much. High pressure system right over us with no pressure gradient. And that's how those rains yesterday produced such copious amounts, because they just kind of formed and sat there. And a few of us may get 1 or 2 of those downpours today in western New England and northern New England. But here on Cape Cod, it's a sunburn factor of a 10 out of 10. The air is going to come in light from the southeast, and eventually we are going to get the southwest wind back next week. But it's not going to be easy. The wind direction is one of the hardest parts of the forecast. So let's go to the forecast with the Euro model. Our big high pressure system here is moving out, and there's still a chance that this storm coming off of North Carolina could evolve into a tropical or subtropical system. Oh, time out. I failed to mention the best surf weather of the year. Like ants to a cupcake crumb on the kitchen floor are the surfers to Hampton Beach this morning. I counted 70 surf riders just in this image from Cinnamon Rainbows. It's about a 3.9 foot swell, 9-second period. Thank you. I guess must be some influence from Dexter, and also the high pressure system that's been moving in from the north with the onshore flow the last several days. So the best surf weather. Let's see if we can't do that again next week, as I now go back to our Euro already in progress, picking it up this weekend with Sunday, storm north of Bermuda, southeast of Nantucket. Could turn into something like Dexter. And then it's all about the high pressure system. This one's moving away and a new one taking over in the southeastern United States. Still raining and kind of chilly in the southeastern United States, but the storm track now going across from Montana to Manitoba to Ontario to Quebec is going to pull warm to hot air in here, And if we do get any smoke with this, it's going to be from the fires in the southwest, not the fires in Canada, because our air is going to be coming from the west. Heat advisories and warnings are expanding across the middle of the nation and will arrive in New England here by Monday and Tuesday. We are in the hot weather on Wednesday. And then here's Thursday. Slow it down. Wow, the front has changed so much. We've seen this front looking so different every 3 days. There's no continuity. 3 days ago, it looked like we'd have cool, refreshing air coming at us next Friday. Now it looks like we're going to have a storm forming on a stalling front next Thursday, Friday. So this is a total crapshoot, about maybe a 60-40 probability of this actually happening. And then that storm stalls east of Nantucket. Talk about possible surf weather next Friday. Into Saturday, that system is still there. It's not a very deep low, but it could be tropical or subtropical or something going from a cold core to a warm core. And it's still there. Now, when we get out to Sunday, August 17th, is that where we're at? And an onshore flow here, but you see the 570 is kind of right over us. So the heat will be broken a little bit, but not gone. It'll be dented. The heat wave will be dented, but there's still a lot of warm to hot air to our west. So the heat's going to return after that. This is now 234 hours out there, a week from Sunday. And it shows a weak system out in the ocean could have an onshore flow, but inland would be still in the 90s. So we could end up with a greater than a 5-day heat wave away from the coast, western and northern New England, if this all pans out. But the Euro has been very inconsistent. And by the way, I know that Euro on day 15, which is August 21, does have a hurricane east of the United States, and it no longer shows one near Cuba or the Gulf of Mexico. I don't know what I want to call the Gulf. I just don't like change. It's hard. See that bug right in front of my camera just there? All right, heavy dew on the grass this morning. So comfortable. And we're done with the weather. The Enmore yesterday, just watching the beautiful weather. Not much action. We'll start it very early with some of the workers on the Weymouth Big Dig, and then we're going to chase to Cape Cod and ride the traffic waves over the Sagamore Bridge, and then get over to our north side beaches here. We have south side beaches, we have north side beaches here in Dennis. It's so great, much Cape Cod. And we chose the north side at low tide, looking for the moonrise, which I ended up getting at the very end as I was passing through a cemetery, West Dennis Cemetery. And seeing some of the names on the gravestones there was pretty impressive. Family that runs together stays together. Laughing kids. And yeah, so sunset at the shanty with Chuck and friends. All right, here's the Enmore from yesterday. I think the full moon is tomorrow. It's going to be gorgeous. Hopefully the smoke stays away. Enmore. Enmore. 8 o'clock in the morning. Haven't even started editing yesterday's. Starting with today's, which is now yesterday. What? It's Thursday morning, and Adam is watering the concrete to cool it off to help it set up. And these guys are laying down that coconut mat, try and do another reseeding of the second time this thing's blown out. But no downpours in the forecast. Yay. That's about a 600-yard long hose. And another thing I wanted to talk about that I didn't mention while shooting the out the door was the work it takes to get like just one tomato stood up. I talked earlier in the week about how I did about 40-50%. Well, this single one took me about 20 minutes yesterday. Probably should do this later, but look at that. It's over my head and going up, and it's brilliant. How do I prevent deer from eating this? Fortunately, we haven't seen many deer. I mean, I think the lower rodents, I'm probably okay with that. And we've got a random sunflower. And the one I called the runt, which just barely survived. Looks like the suture may have worked. It's holding together. Gonna have to get a more powerful stake and be very gentle with it. Send that one over here in this direction. Gently. See, Rex? What's going on? I think that's Adam. He's getting that excavator off the beach, but there's something in the way. Can you move that thing? Of course he can move it. Just get that out of the way. I'm going to drive this excavator through the water. barely 8 o'clock in the morning.
He came all the way out of the water.
Yeah.
Wow, this is nice. Real blue sky. Things we take for granted sometimes. Smoke is out for now anyway. And not even a cloud in the sky. Gorgeous. The opposite of most every Thursday we've had so far in 2025. The weather has rhythm, but every once in a while a streak has to end. But let's keep the streak of nice Saturdays going. Get through our Friday first. Let's go see how long the line is at the Sagamore Bridge. Yeah, it's a good idea. Met with an immediate traffic wave getting onto Route 3, and then it was slow, and then it was opened up through Marshfield. I call it compression wave, and this is a decompression wave. And then you compress again for that construction zone there in Duxbury. As much as I don't like compressed traffic waves, I do enjoy looking at construction sites where they're building a bridge and adding lanes adjacent to flowing traffic. I think that's fascinating. And then I saw the signs that says it was a 9-minute backup at the bridge, so I got off and exit early, and it ended up taking me 8 minutes. I think I just saved myself 60 seconds. But the bottom line is, good crowd headed to Cape Cod. That's it for TK's traffic report today. Now let's get to the beach. It's beach 30. How's that line at the beach? Frozen strawberry lemonade or something like that. Mission accomplished. Looks like an outgoing tide. So high tide in the middle of the day when there's a full moon, and we have a waxing sturgeon moon over there somewhere behind the poison ivy. Boston Globe did a piece on how much stuff we bring to the beaches nowadays, like practically cabanas with living rooms, and the amount of effort it takes to do it. We turn into Sherpa. Not maybe me, we. I don't have children, but at least the kids are helping. Funny. And the gulls come in right after you vacate. And where's the moon? Next stop, moon, or the ocean. Gorgeous here. Light onshore flow. Very little smoke in the sky. Onshore from the east. Could you repeat that question, please?
When do you get a day where you have the clarity that you can actually see Plymouth?
From Dennis, like almost all the time,
Mayflower Beach.
but not with the smoke of late. But let's go over there and check it out. Anyhow, walk through the gulls. If we can make our way through the gulls, it's kind of a challenge. And over to the kite flying. All right, I want a laughing gull to come right at the camera. That's not a laughing gull, that's a herring. That's a laughing gull. You know them because of their dark head. They also make a laughing sound. That's not it. That sound is not it. But that is the laughing gull right there. I'm tired of my laughing gull stories. No doubt, I've said this a bunch of times in the last few weeks, even though I only come to the beach for a few minutes at a time. It's just wonderful how, when the tide goes out here on the north side of Dennis and Brewster and a little bit in Barnstable, that you get these sand bars, these flats, and it's so fun walking, and the water temperature is so comfortable. It feels like a bathtub right there. So where'd that kite go? All right, so there's the kite. So the air down near the ground today, coming from the east, but up in the sky, as you'll see in the time lapse in a few moments, the air was coming from the west. We call that differential advection. And I don't really pay enough respect for the daily forecast. I'm more a big picture guy. Can you even see it? Now you can see it. All right, that's a great looking kite. The air is almost from 90 degrees, maybe 70 degrees. And Charlie just asked that question, how often do you have such a great view of, well, the sun glare is going to stop me from seeing it, but the power plant at the east end of the canal is right over there. These guys in the wave runners going like 60 miles an hour out there. And then the ground you see over there are the hills in Plymouth. Here on Cape Cod Bay. The Gulf. What is wind? Well, air moving from behind me to in front of me. High to low pressure. Not sure I mentioned where I am. Most people probably already guessed. The town I grew up in, Dennis, on the north side. We're standing at Mayflower Beach looking over at Bayview Beach where the moon should be above the horizon, but I can't see it yet. Cormorant. Laughing Gull just brought some food over here to soften it and season it with some salt. See the moon? Where'd you go? Going back for more. Pardon us. I'm just coming through here. If that's all right. I'm gonna go see the sunset. Probably the same family we've been watching. Haven't seen them in a while here in South Dennis. And then 5 seconds later on Old Bass River Road.
Serving breakfast, lunch, smoothies, and more. Info and
Hi, Mom and Dad. Look the other way to see the moon. Sturgeon moon, wherefore art thou? Over in that direction somewhere. Not giving up yet. We're not at a full moon, so the moon should come up before the sun goes down.
It's already made. Oh, it is? Yeah. I'm sorry. No problem.
Laughing gulls are here too. I wish I could get the sound. Come on, make it laugh. So we're here at the Bass River Marina, summer shanty, sunset. So let's just play it out with time lapse from here on Bass River. Where the sky cleared, low level air coming in from the east northeast, and Kevin said on the south side it came in from the south. So a very interesting day. And in Weymouth, we started off with that wonderful altocumulus mix of sky waves. Here's the Weymouth altocumulus moving toward the east. So upper level wind from the west. Down on the ground, it's from the east. Yes, differential advection. We talk about it all the time. Benjamin Franklin is the one that deduced that there's a counterclockwise circulation to low pressure, which is out to sea, and a clockwise circulation around high pressure, which was right over us. And so we're decoupling the atmosphere again this evening. When I was a boy, those are osprey, the kids. Mercuries were black and they were much smaller. And we had 125 horsepower, we thought was a lot. I don't know what those are. I'm guessing maybe 250 each. And as for the moon, not sure where it is. We are not done yet. John B. Snow died June 24th, 1912, 55 years old. Though last to sight, to memory dear, Eliza B. Baker, 1854, 1937. Albert, that's my dad's first name, Baker, 1848, 1922. Can't read all of that. Roland D. Kelly, 1867, 1931, perhaps one of my ancestors. But the reason I pulled in here to begin with was because we found the moon. And more and more and more. It's the waxing gibbous sturgeon moon. We found it. Okay. Thank you for your patience.